of the day in the second day of our group stage. The home ground heroes, Falcons Mana, up against EEC Ace VSG. Who will be able to take it? Let's go to our casters.
What's up, guys? Thanks for the throw. We're entering the land of dawn. This is day number 2 of the MWI. This is Trex here along with Mirko on the desk, and so far the picks have not disappointed, Mirko. Right now we got a jungle Benedetta on the side of VSG.
Yeah, a debut pick onto Benedetta. Something that we were expecting kinda yesterday. Maybe it's gonna show up, but definitely not as a jungler, right? So this is already something new that's technically old too, because back in the day when Benedetta got released, we saw a whole lot of the Benedetta jungle, and I'm glad to see that Kyoe is on this Benedetta. We'll get to see exactly how they utilize this. Seems like for Feven and you in the mid lane, looking to go for the Lethal Wanderer. This is one of the advantages you have on the Zosk. You have so much zoning power, and just like that, they secure the Lethal Wanderer.
I mean, the Zosk, we saw it a little bit yesterday. There's been whispers, there's been rumors of it possibly entering into the Lambadon, but a little bit of damage in the mid side.
Onward, and the Earth Shatter coming down. Synchro trying to deal some damage there with the flare, bringing him back straight into it. Yui flickering out, but Synchro chases all the way under the turret to pick up first blood.
So first blood for VSG. Victory Song Gamer securing a nice early on lead. This is going to send Yui back. It's going to give them a little bit of an advantage of the mid lane, possibly able to rotate a little bit faster around. We got 30 seconds on the clock until Turtle. Taking a look at some of these compositions, I like what Victory Song Gamers is bringing for game number 1. You spice it up a little bit with the Benedetta. You have some quick rotations. You still have that bulky front line with the Minotaur and the Ruby in the EXP lane. So just a lot of possibilities from this composition.
My concern early on the Benedetta is the fact that, you know, how fast does the Benedetta clear in the jungle? And so far, he's actually doing a really good job. Able to clear it as fast as Electa on the Julian. They're both technically on very similar levels here, but up top, again, thrown back there. Pops the Vengeance Velvet, still able to survive for a bit, but will not have a big research. Up brought back again, straight into Minion, who's going to be able to dish out some damage. Donra Wolfgang, another CC back into the I'm Offended. Juicin
Is juicing right now. Getting everything out of these first few minutes. It's only 2.5 in. It's 3 kills for VSD. And not to mention 2 of those kills going to the Ruby, who sometimes has a bit of a slow start, but in the EXP lane, this Ruby's going to be so... Oh my god, another one.
Again, pulled back. She might be able to get another. But Feven is able to space out in time. Neutral objective number 1 taken for free. And it seems like, at least for Team Falcons Mana, they have a way to actually trade it out. Right? Electa was able to go into the bottom side again, can get caught, forced to use the sword to escape, and now we really get to see the power of this Juicin pick.
Yeah, I feel like no one's played it this aggressive just yet. The way that Synchro's playing it almost like a Lilia, just in their face, zoning them back with that skill. Synchro really showing how it's done right now. And it's exciting to see because we kind of questioned this hero. We wondered how it was going to be able to be played. And I think it's going to work also well against the composition that Team Falcons Mana has brought. Seeing the Julian, yes, there's some dashes away, but still it is not an extreme, like it's mobile in team fights, but when it comes to just moving around the map, as long as Synchro has this lead, can definitely use it to zone away some of these heroes.
You know, I think we heard earlier from the analysts, right? Because from what we've seen, yeah, Juicin does get, you know, needs some time. Gaily with a flicker forward. Midas Fury names able to displace himself, but look at that. The chain CC straight into the Zaman Force and the Synchro Fission. Rian able to pick up the kill under the turret. 4-0 VSG.
The rotations right now, they're just going from top to bottom, clearing mid, keeping it simple, never too, you know, they're not just staying in mid lane, right? Synchro is all over the place. Her and Gaily right now are everywhere, and more damage on the bot. Velvet gonna go down. That is 5-0, already a 2,000 gold lead.
I don't think Minion even got an assist there. Did she get an assist? It almost seems like Kyoe was able to burst Velvet down all alone, even with the Vengeance. So the lethal ignition on the Benedetta bottom lane. Still, Rian able to pick up that gold crab here. His name's on the Clint. You expect the Clint to actually be able to dish out some damage. You can see again just how much pressure Synchro can put on to Yui. Minion rotating forward, Donra Wolfgang, and I'm offended, but Yui is able to flicker out in time now. Earth Shadow flicker combo straight into the Primal Wrap, but it's under the turret. No, Saman forced to play with the quick draw. Rian still able to escape. Gaily rotating forward, able to disengage and save Rian.
Beautiful timing from Gailey there. Beautiful play from Rian, but we're starting to see MENA kind of pick up the pace a little bit, look for picks of their own. Now it's first turtle. Team Falcons MENA probably not even going to want to contest this. They're too far behind. Taking a look at some of the heroes, at some of these girls. Electa, Fevin, both deathless right now, and I think they're going to need to step up the pace. They're going to need to look for something. We do see the Sky Piercer come in for Kyoei.
Uh-oh. No flicker. Minus Fury knocking, straight into the blades. Kyoei able to take the kill, now going in with a final blow as well. Knocking him down, Kyoei picking up the execute on the Sky Piercer. Dominator's Ascent to try to chase him down, but really for Yui, they can't really go for the chase, not at all.
Perfect timing for a gank like that. Right when she gets the Sky Piercer, let's go in, pick up a couple kills, get some stacks on there, get under the tower, super aggressive. They get the knockup. You get the ultimate with Synchro. I mean, just the way that VSG is moving around the map right now as a group, looking for their picks, but still controlling their lane, still making sure they're getting their minions. They look like pros right now.
They are, right? I mean, just looking at how they're able to path around the map. Gailey, again, just trying to sandwich names. It's very hard for Clint now. If Clint falls behind in the early game, now again, Rian just jumping forward into the knockup now. Names forced to flicker just as she gets it back up. And she loses a turret. Tier 1 in the bottom lane. No trades for now. They were able to get a turret down below before, so technically it's now back to equal on turrets. But if you take a look at the gold lead, yeah, tells you a whole different story.
Okay, so we've been talking a lot about VSG because of how well they have been doing. Team Falcons MENA, what is the win con at this point? They do have the Clint. They got to kind of get into some late game territory. Because he took those 2 deaths, it's going to be a while. Without any crowd control in the EXP lane, like I said, a lot of things come down to Fevin and Electa to pop off.
Earth Shatter now with the Minus Fury, and I'm offended, knocking 4 members straight into them. Now with the damage, Crimson Beacon, AoE, Velvet going to be caught, thrown back again, Spray able to flick around with a double kill now, and look at the rotation coming from Minin. Going for the Dome Run Wolf King, but still with the enhanced sword. Electa able to outplay and getting that one last hit to shut Synchro down.
The tables have turned. Falcon MENA back into the game, and as I said, Electa being deathless, it's at some point you gotta hit the power spike. At some point you gotta roll the dice, and Electa did it and came out on top. They're gonna be able to get a tower out of this. They're gonna be able to get some movement out of this, and look at names as well, keeping a good position back. And at some point Electa knows, okay, they're low, I have the skills, I can make the full engage. Cinco should have probably tucked tail and run here, but the engage, the chains, they get it. He even forces it in, and before he gets tossed up and thrown away, he gets the final shot to lock in that final kill. So now, top tier 3 down for VSG, but in the boss side, we have seen VSG take the whole bot lane, which is going to be huge for them.
You see the reaction though, straight up. I mean, you saw Synchro, he was like, all right, we got a double, we got a few kills, but that's definitely what they did not expect that for sure. Kyoei taking a whole lot of punishment, and now you can really see that power spike for names on the Clint. Mid-game. When you get some of these items for the Clint, I think it's like 2-3 items, that's when you really start to deal damage. On top of that, there's going to be problems for VSG when they try to dive. That's an interesting interaction. I did not know that was a thing. You can actually pick up the little Johnny boy of Zask, throw it away.
Throw it.
Yeah, you can throw it away. So
pick up Johnny boy.
Exactly. Oh, right here. Vengeance used up already. Baits out a massive ability. Already bringing Synchro back again. But Minus Fury comes down. That's a 3-man knockup. Straight into the damage. Able from Mina and straight into the final blow. Well played, VSG. Picks up the fight, and now it's just names who gets obliterated by Kyoei as she picks up a triple.
That's a 5-man knockout. Now you see him, now you don't. Victory song gamers. Gailey with such a beautiful response. That fight looked like it was in Team Falcons MENA's hands. A nice Earthshaker just to try to pick one off, but Gailey comes in, gets him No One's Fury, combos it up with another knockup onto 3. I mean, just monstrous right now. The comms from this team are off the charts.
They're a great team fighting team, but also it just seems like they're a band because they know exactly how to play the song, the victory song. Gailey with the drum smacking down and straight into that beautiful orchestra of abilities. Now, Fevin gonna be caught, still able to pop in the Primal Wrath, deal some damage, Kyoei in the back, able to survive. Meanwhile, Rian is gonna be taken down under the turret, taking too much punishment from that tier 2. And VSG, they fall back for now. They lose one member. It's a gold lane. But still for Kyoei, she's eating real good. Now in the enemy jungle, 2,000 gold ahead of Electa.
Okay, what's going to be big for Team Falcons Mana here is luckily Names is not too far behind. It's only 800 gold. Looks like we're now getting into that Malefic Roar, and I think once she gets that third item in, and she can stay in that box, which is kind of what Team Falcons Mana has built here. You have the Zask who can zone away, you have Fevin who can get some CC, you have Electa who can do a bit of damage, but as long as Names can stay in a good spot, we're starting to see the damage come out. And Victory Song gamers, if they want to win this, they have to be careful of how they approach these big pushes, because once they get into the bottleneck of those inhibitors, that's where it's dangerous. That's where Names can really just kind of huddle down and get a lot of free shots off.
And now it should be for free here. Team Falcons Mana, they're way too behind to actually contest for this Lord. It's the first Lord of the game. Technically, if you take a look at Team Falcons Mana's composition, they still got a lot of good wave clear, right? They got that Zask, they have the Clint as well, so it's a good decision by them to leave this two Victory Song gamers, not really go for the contest. Because for VSG, I think at this point of the game, it's the way that they can actually bait these members out of Team Falcons Mana outside of the base, because I think for Team Falcons Mana, that's their key win condition. They need to stay in their base, they need to play with their range, and they need to bait out some of these big abilities from VSG.
All right, now, Ward's going to be coming soon. I think if they can get 2 inhibitors out of this, it's a huge win. They don't have to finish things now. With Names finally getting in some of those third items, it's going to be, they should be able to clear it fast. We're already seeing the Lord getting melted down.
With the first Lord, now it's a Monforce popped in. Rion doing some damage onto the base turret. Electa walking up, able to get out with the enhanced sword. You can see that the wave clear is still there. They're still able to defend for the base turret at least now. But there is going to be another big minion wave coming down. Still buffed by the Lord. Electa standing forward there. Gotta go for the knockup there. Synchro with the Lantern, unable to go for it. Now Min and I'm offended, not connecting. Earth Shatter and the Flicker combo. Turning the onward, but now it's into the Crimson. Blast into the back. Ailey also with the Min's Fury straight into the damage once again. Min survives. Rion picks up a kill, and now it's just Velvet. And Names left to defend. Velvet taking down Kyoe. An absolute beast of an assassin on the Benedetta. Names, one cowboy versus 5 Victory Song gamers, and you can hear the drums of victory. You can hear the song. They're gonna go straight for the base, pick them up, throw them back, and then execute her in the base. That's game number 1 for VSG.
Execution is a perfect adjective for that one, a perfect verb for that one, because VSG Kyoe, I gotta put the highlight on her, 9-0-3 on a pick, not just a first pick of the tournament, not just a Benedetta first pick of the tournament, but a first pick of the tournament that no one expected to be in the jungle. Showing something different, getting this pick and making it work so well. 9-0-3 Kyoe just got a lot of fans.
She already has a lot of fans. You know, I think VSG, they have a lot of fans already from their performances. And now, technically with this is a statement to the world now at MWI. We're here as contenders. We're not just here to participate, we're here to conquer. We're here to play our victory song, and we're gamers.
I mean, because the way they played, too, was just amazing. They were able to combo up so many team fights, able to do so many great things. But that's enough for me. We're going to toss it over to our wonderful experts, our analysts on the panel.
Team Falcons Mana dancing to VSG song, the Kyoe. The Benedetta jungle was highlighted, but first we have to begin with the Jushin and the Minotaur. Gaily and Synchro were perfectly in synchro, applying the pressure throughout the early game.
I gotta say, honestly, the casters talk about this, right? If you're looking at VSG, looking at their lineup, they have a lot of big ults, like the Zaman Force, the Mino and Fury, even Synchro with the Crimson Beacon. Like, there's a lot of control when you're looking at this team. And when we're looking at Falcons Mana, look at every single time they engage, especially when it comes from Fevin. She forces the engage. When she has the flicker, she'll go for it, right? That's good and bad. It's good that you have the mentality, the courage to start something, but at some point you have to understand you're going up against a lineup that wants to start a team fight.
Yeah.
So when you, the opponent, starts the team fight for them, it helps them out. Like in this particular clip, you see throwing the Minotaur towards the team. Like the Minotaur just has an easier time to set up the Mino and Fury. So this is one of those cases where you're going up against a draft like VSG. You want to bait out as many abilities as you can. If they use the final blow early, if they use the Zaman Force early, kite away. Use your abilities to escape the team fight. Once the cooldowns are done, you go back in.
Yeah, that's exactly what we saw in that one crucial team fight wherein the members of Falcons Mana started the team fight despite them being quite low. Oh, no, they didn't start it. It was the members of VSG that started out the fight. Then the members of Falcons Mana responded to it accordingly, even though they were down like 3 to 5k gold at that point. And they were able to turn it around, as you said. But then in the end, when they were the ones initiating, that was just great timing and counterplay by Gaily, and then eventually, of course, by KOA on that Benedetta. Because once everyone else has entered, Benedetta says, all right, my time to shine.
Yeah, for you guys at home, if you guys are watching the screen down here, we can definitely see a lot of the plays. KOA, yes, is amazing with the Benedetta, and I kind of feel like she has a lot more in her pocket. There's more heroes that she can use. In this kind of lineup, there's a lot of crowd control that makes it very difficult for the lineups of Falcon Mana to actually really do anything. So it's all about execution. It's easier said than done. But for game number 2, they got to really look at the win condition for VSG and try to get it out of the way, making sure that they don't achieve that win condition, and then you try to fight back. Because looking at the winning condition coming in from Falcon Mana, they have scaling side laners. You kind of don't have a choice. You got to wait it out.
Let's see one of the main winning conditions of the winning team with our PlayStation MVP. I wonder who it's going to be. Is it going to be the younger that had 0 deaths? I feel like maybe, but definitely it is KOA. KDA of 12. That is a singular number because, yes, that is no deaths on the side of KOA. If I'm not mistaken, that is a final stat line of 9 kills, 3 assists, 0 deaths. Was it purely just great timing by KOA as to why she was the MVP?
Honestly, she had a lot of room to move around in all of the team fights, because when you see most of the escaping abilities have been used by Falcon Mana, and then she's just like, okay, I'm just gonna dash in and I'm gonna do my damage, especially when she has the Sky Piercer. Makes it all that much easier for her to secure all of the kills. But again, it's not just the Sky Piercer. She has a lot of penetration coming in from the Hunter Strike, as well as the true damage coming in from the name escapes me.
For the Sky Piercer?
No.
The War Axe?
The red item.
Red item, true damage?
Okay, you know what? It'll come back.
It'll come back to us eventually. Endless Battle.
Endless Battle, yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Escaped me for a while.
But, I really agree with you there. It was just, in terms of the conditions, I didn't realize it until we got to see it happen. It was just a crazy amount of crowd control. It looked like this was a lineup that just really didn't allow the members of Falcons Mana to do anything, to play. It was a lineup that Falcons Mana had that was stronger on the counter, but it really doesn't seem like that's their comfort playstyle.
Yeah, it's just that here's the thing, Falcons Mana, they have one idea, and then they just do that one thing. Where going up against a team like VSG, you got to be a little bit more creative. If A doesn't work, you got to go for B.
What's the B? Like a different step?
No, it's like, okay, if we engage, it doesn't work, maybe don't do that. Maybe
force it.
False engages. Make it look like you're going for a fight, but then it's like, haha, I gotcha. I was kidding. And now we're backing off. Right?
All right. I get what you're getting at. Let's see if we'll see more of those false engages. But here's something true. The Doritos reactions, the players' reactions for you up on the screen.
And honestly, there's gonna like, oh, whatever. It's like, okay, you got me, man. It's fine. But yeah, looking at the reactions, it's like backstage, this is the reaction that we're really looking forward to see, because the excitement there, they can't contain it.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't think like someone who reacts in that way, it's you're hyped for your team, but at the same time I feel like it's half, whoa, I didn't expect us to even just be like that as well. Well, Cheryl mentioned that they are beasts, and now I do not doubt it. With how they played that, with how they did not allow Falcons Mana to play their game, it is that was terrifying to look at. And now VSG definitely, as our casters mentioned, have made a statement, a grand introduction for themselves in the very first series of the day here in day number 2. we have gave a lot of glowing commentations for VSG Falcons Mana, other than what you mentioned with maybe instead of just going all in, go a little bit more false engages. Is there something maybe that they would want to adjust in the draft?
I feel like when it comes to the draft, it's a little bit tricky because we are not entirely sure the kind of picks that they're used to. Because we saw the Clint, and the Clint was, in theory, is an amazing pick because you have a lot of burst damage once you complete 4 items, right? At that point, you can have the possibility of one-shotting people. But again, it takes a little bit of time. And looking at how the trend is for MWI, the mid game is very important. Transitioning from the turtle all the way to the Lord, that very small time frame is where you're able to set your presence on the map. And then once you set it, then you have a big advantage when it comes to controlling the Lord and then eventually winning the game. So having a side laner that both wants to scale, I feel like the CC is fine if you want if your gold laner requires maybe just 3 or 2 items, and if you want a 4-item marksman, perhaps you need an EXP laner, something like a Terizla, something like maybe even a Yuzong, something that can buy some time. So when both of them needs time, there's just not enough time for everyone.
Yeah, real quickly though, let's go on over to the caster's desk. Mirko and Trex, real quickly, what do you guys think and what would you want to say and add on to the discussion? Let's start first off with Mirko when it comes to game number 1.
I don't know, it really felt like for VSG, they were just so much better in terms of the mechanics as well, individually in lane. Because I think it was the XP lane where we saw, again, also technically domination. Velvet wasn't really able to do much in that XP lane on the CC, despite her already being placed on a matchup that should be actually okay, especially with the Vengeance. You can actually go and, you know, punish a lot. But yeah, it really feels like there is big mechanic difference there.
I think VSG really caught them off guard with the early game aggression. I think a lot of teams might not be ready for those types of ganks, that many offlane ganks that early in the game. So this time Falcon Mana might have a better chance. They can at least prepare themselves for these type of compositions, and not even just the compositions, but the rotations in that early phase of the game. And I think if they can do that, there's some good possibilities to tie this up.
You know what? I'm going to have to agree here with both of them. It seems like aggression is one of the key factors here. VSG, they look like they played a lot better because of the aggression that they showed. Again, it's about not letting your opponent play their game was the biggest factor.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because for me, it's not enough to win a game. It's about letting the opponent know that they lost.
Ooh, that's cold, bro.
So I kind of feel like you need that kind of mindset. So for Falcons Mana in this game, you got to figure out how to make them lose. Sometimes just thinking how to win, sometimes that's not enough, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not about achieving your win condition, it's about denying the opponent's win condition.
Oh, that's a great way to look at that. Now let's see what Falcons Mana will be able to do in game number 2 to somehow force a tie to deny the condition, or will VSG deny a point for Falcons Mana, meaning that they are going to be put in the red. This is the beauty of a BO2 style setup. Even just one sweep loss is already a massive blow to your chances of being able to advance into the next game. VSG, I mean, I don't want to say that they had the perfect game, but it was somewhat close to it. Are there any errors that you saw from their side that maybe Falcons Mana will be able to take advantage of?
No, honestly, not really. In terms of the rotations, as well as like the caster said, their mechanics are really on point. The fact that they can outplay the team fights is indicative of that. So honestly, for this game, the only way that they could have a mistake is the mid trio coming in from Falcons Mana was able to punish their rotation. Because let's talk about Jushin. Did Jushin really have any trouble going up against his ass? Not really.
Nope.
Right?
Yeah,
so the fact that they can go bottom lane, they get a kill. They go to top lane, they get a kill. They go fight around turtle, there's no contest. The mid trio for VSG looked like they had a pretty free time.
Yeah. Now that when you mentioned it, there was something that you mentioned behind the scenes also, was that when in that one team fight that Falcons Mana was able to win, they almost got a wipeout. It was actually the Zask protecting the Clint in the back line, so that was their peeler. I'm thinking then, okay, how does that connect to the rest of the lineup where it's more defensive, the style of lineup. So add to the fact that of condition denial, maybe for Falcons Mana, it's also condition acknowledgement. If your lineup is great for counter plays, you go for the counter plays. Don't be the one engaging it, as you mentioned earlier. So now, yeah, maybe that is the trick there for Falcons Mana.
Yeah, again, we're about to go into the draft, but something to highlight as well, Minonon at Ruby keeps controlling the damage dealer, so it makes it easier for QA to actually go in.
Yeah, and I think now, earlier in that game number 1, we got to see why the 2 Filipinos on the team, you see Rian and Gailey, love Minon so much, even outside of the game, because inside of the game, they are well taken care of by their EXP laner. So, Falcons Mana says, let's take out a Yuzong. Any team that would prioritize a ban on a Yuzong like this, other than the fact that it's a... Actually, in this current meta, I feel like it's one of those overlooked first 2 picks on the red side. But that's also a sign of, hey, we're going to build another lineup that it's more static on the back line, maybe?
That, or they just know that Minon on the Yuzong is not a fun time.
Yeah, just respect it.
Right, maybe it's like, okay, you know, if Minon has this Yuzong...
Yeah. It's not good.
Let's just wait for 15 minutes and then see what happens next, right?
Yeah.
It's one of those things where Yuzong controls the turtle so well that you're basically not playing the game for the first 7 minutes, right? So maybe that's the kind of player Minon is on the Yuzong. So they're like, okay, we're gonna deny that. Jushin gets banned out as well, which is good and bad. It's good because you're not giving it over to VSG, but it's kind of bad because you're not using it yourself.
Yeah.
So in a way, you're telling people, it's like, yeah, I don't have time to train this hero.
Ooh, like it's not yet in
Or I
our
train, but
comfort.
I have no idea how this works.
Maybe, or just saving it. There's a lot of questions there, but yeah, Jushin's not going to be a first pick. First pickables, the Rogers and the Hariths and the Low Yees of the world are still up for the taking.
I would say Roger, because Roger is solid going up against the Harith, as well as the Louis. And it's flexible. You can put it in the jungle or goal lane.
Yeah.
Or dare I say mid lane, who knows?
Oh, well, no. I hope that's not a Roger mid lane.
Yeah.
It's a bit too high concept for
Here's
my
the
taste.
thing, right? We can say whatever we want, just don't take our word for it, okay?
And so with the Roger pickup for Falcons Mana, VSG would pick up the Minotaur. It went really well. It looks like a comfort pickup for Gailey, and most importantly, up against Dashes, you want to pick up the Minotaur to force out Dashes. Julian for VSG, it's their turn to use that hero.
They pick up the Edith as well. I prefer going up against something like a Minotaur for the Edith to be in the roam position because you can pick up the Minotaur. Minotaur is a tank support. It's not a full tank, right?
Yeah.
The defense stats is not the same as a full tank, and the passive is not really to make sure that you stay alive that long. So honestly, if you have the Edith and a bursty kind of mage, you can deal with the Minotaur, making so that the Minotaur is delayed in building the items, because usually Minotaur goes for a first item flash, right? The flash of the Oasis. So you're not going to be that tanky. So I still hope that the Edith is going roam, but looking at how Fevin plays, probably going to go to XP.
Yeah. Earlier we did see it go into
Roam,
Roam. Yeah, it was the Roam. And we saw that interaction that you mentioned earlier, that if you toss the Minotaur and you're not careful, you're actually helping the Minotaur to come closer to your teammates. But the thing with the lineups for Falcons Mana is this is not a backline focused lineup. This is a lineup that will get up in your face and would want to fight under a Zaman Force and would want to claw you up front.
If VSG doesn't ban the Valentina, honestly, they should take it. Falcons Mana, you can take away the Million Fury, as well as possibly deal a lot of damage in the early game. So I'm thinking Valentina here. If Valentina is not picked up, honestly, another solid pick is the Farsa, but we haven't seen the Farsa so far in the MWI.
Yeah, it seems like a niche pick. Even though it makes a lot of sense for the meta, there's not a lot of teams that are incredibly comfortable yet with either playing it or showing it. VSG, they are taking away the Ruby because, okay, with the Julian and the Claude, I could see why they would be hesitant to play up against a Ruby up on the field. Quick crowd control with the second skill might mess up their entries.
Honestly, Bane is a good pickup for Falcons Mana, but the fact that they have the Harv as well as the Roger means, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Unless you go Bane EXP, but I think that's too much.
It's a little bit
I think that's stretching too far.
As someone who's tried it, don't. Not worth it anymore. It will most likely be a jungle if we're going to be seeing Bane again later here in MWI. Who knows?
They're going to have a very tanky something in the EXP.
Yeah, that's going to be their lane holder.
Oh,
Trisla's gone. Lapo is going to be have a hard time catching anyone. Who else is to be available in terms of the tanky presence of the EXP laner that has crowd control?
I'm even thinking if they go for something crazy by putting a tank in the EXP, because we've seen a Grok EXP before, but we haven't seen it for a while. And now the Valentina gets picked up by VSG. Even they understand how dangerous the Valentina is going up against the Minotaur.
Yeah, great call there.
Oh,
Novaria.
Don't know about the damage output of Novaria as well as Edith can do in the early game, though.
That's all magic. VSG will just rush Radiant Armors at this point. But the thing is, again, we don't know their EXP laner. The the Minotaur will pick up the, as you mentioned, the Flask of the Oasis. Then you build up the Radiant Armors later on. The other members of VSG cannot. Okay, so they're rushing magic damage. Don't tell me it's going to be another magic. They need a little bit more physical here.
Actually, now that I look at it, as long as the Roger follows up on Edith and Novaria, they should have enough damage. So, never mind. If it's a duo, maybe it's difficult. As a trio, it's fine. Tom's gets picked up.
Huh. Usually isn't Tom's picked up against like really honest team fights?
No, I get it. Going up against the Claw wants to do the Blazing Duet and he goes Vengeance.
Vengeance, right, yeah.
So you're just countering by staying still.
Okay, so Vengeance now, and there's the Paquitos, you get crowd control, but yeah, duelists on the EXP lanes. This is gonna be scrappy. The way I look at these two lineups, all I see is just chaos.
Honestly, I feel like that's better for Falcons Mana, because I feel like if you see fight, I just fight. They're the kind of team that goes in and then hopes for the best.
And Falcons Mana will be hoping that they seal a point here. If they get swept, that puts them in the red. The beauty and the pain of the BO2 format. If VSG takes this, well, they're going to be in a very comfortable spot with a 2-0 in the very first match of the day. Falcons Mana versus VSG. Mirko, Trex, let's go.
Let's go is right. We're going to be jumping into game number 2. VSG up against Falcons Mana. And Scrappy is a perfect way to describe this comp for VSG. Scrappy is a perfect way to describe this competition. And looking at both of them, I would say Team Falcons Mana, they're fast moving, yes, but with the mid lane, with the, with Fevin as well, I feel like they could also take this a little bit slow if they want. They have some late game scaling. And on the terms of VSG with that Paquito, with the movement of defense again to the boss side, bro. The rotations from them in the first 2 minutes.
Man, game 1, you know, I did say Velvet getting out-microed in lane. This time it's not even fair. It's not even a 1v1. It's a 3v1 in the bottom lane. Velvet is going to have to recall again, and that will only give Minion, Soldiers already very, very aggressive in lane, even more power now. You can see that Electa is able to actually steal away some camps onward. Or Shatter comboed in, it's done, locking him down. Kyobi still trying to run away, get the healing down, right, they have sword, outplaying the situation. What a move by Gailey and Synchro to help her out.
That's gotta be crushing to your confidence.
Yikes.
Team Falcons Mana set up the perfect little bait there. I mean, they had it. But Victory Sun Gamers, they rotate back to mid. Synchro Gailey saved the day for Kyoe.
That was well played, man. Even Kyoe able to get out just into the vision, out of the into the bush, out of the vision pool for just a second to get the help coming in from the motivation roar, the healing, and then obviously the terrify straight into the combo. And with the enhanced sword, you actually do get a little bit of HP, and Kyoe was able to completely abuse that there. Goes to show you that she played the Benedetta really well. She can also play the Julian really well. Synchro just sidestepped away from that Astral Sphere too. They are locked in.
They are a well-oiled machine right now. VSG, the way they're moving on this map. And even here with Synchro hanging out down on the boss side a lot because they know Yui's here as well. We see Gailey holding down the mid lane, making sure it's cleared. Everybody knows their job. They know the assignment. Team Falcons Mana, though, needs to find an answer. They gotta break through this aggression. They brought the Thamus this time, a nice aggressive early gamer. They have Electa. I mean, they have some possibilities here. They just need to pull it off.
Well played, man. One level advantage on Gailey. She's gonna have the Minion's Fury, so, and technically they'll also have the Primal Wrath. Enhanced Chain, knocking her off. Fevin almost taken down, forced to flicker under the tier 1. That's a shot from Yui that does not connect, and VSG They're just utilizing the fundamentals so much better compared to Team Falcons Mana, and they're outclassing them with it. Poking them down before the neutral objectives, and then obviously getting these level advantage with better rotations. And even the weak side, they're playing it real well. Rihanna in this matchup against the Herod, she hasn't really been fully bullied out.
You know, we talk about this sometimes when we see teams that aggressively rotate like this. At least back in NA we do. You know, it's not always great to just play reactionary. Don't just follow them around the map. I think at this point, Team Falcons Mana, what they need to do is maybe play the opposite lane. If VSG is going to gank EXP, go try to gank gold. You know, play your own game. Look for positions on the map because VSG stays in this 3 group. Their mid is almost always moving together. So there are weak points on the map that Team Falcons Mana could attack. They cannot just follow them around, because if they do, they're never actually going to gain any space.
And this is real bad. We were talking about how Rian, at least in the early game, she was being bullied. His Fury flicker forward, knock up straight to the Blazing Duet, but is still able to survive onward into the front. Not able to find the Earth Shatter to really connect onto anyone. He got Synchro, but Synchro was just able to Primal Wrath and deal out more damage, sustain back up too. She didn't really lose any HP in that skirmish with the sustain back, and even in the bottom lane, Minion, you can see the confidence already in VSG. That's a lethal ignition, Paquito. That's a full damage, Paquito. That's an FDP.
FDP is right. I mean, it's a FDT, full damage team. Everyone is ready to put someone down.
Except Gailey,
I mean,
unless...
Even Gailey, I mean, even with those Minoan's Furies,
all right.
we're causing mayhem. Bevan now in trouble.
Forced to use a Primal Rat defense, so Gailey still wants to go for it. You're right, at least in the aggression, but Gailey will be forced back. Synchro jumping in, Alexa go for the damage. Shui sniping her from downtown. Rian forced to use the BMI defensively as Alexa pounced on her.
But a beautiful defensive BMI, because a good wait. Didn't use it too early, waited for the Lycan Pounce to connect, but now Electa.
Boom, bang. Into the knockout strike, knocking her up into the enhanced chain as well. The combo is perfect. Minion picking up the kill now. Velvet running them down with the Vengeance, but VSG knows better than to take on Athamas with the Vengeance still on. Kiowe in that bush, great immobilization, but Velvet's able to step out just in time. Remember though, Minion full stacks. Go opening it up. Knockout strike to bring Fevin back straight into Synchro, and Synchro actually utilized that to take the Primal Wrath. It's a big ultimate now in the hands of Synchro. And even then, VSG say, you know what, we're a bit too low, we'll take the slow route.
Okay, so it's about a 1,500 gold lead for the side of VSG. Definitely not end game material. 1,700 to be exact. Math's hard. Team Falcons Mana, they should be getting somewhere soon. Names has been deathless. This time the gold lane is keeping up, and the trades aren't even too bad. Rian is about a level up, but Names should, I think, get that after this wave down on the boss side of the turtle, though.
Great position by Gailey, knocking up Electa now. Her Shadow Shades and Mayo Wrath as well now. Minus Fury already used up earlier. Gailey's still able to find another knockup, and now it's Velvet all alone, isolated in the front. Gailey taking a big shot, but says, nah, I'm good. Minion getting the shielding, winning out in this brawl, or duel rather, against Electa, and Rian is on the turret in the mid lane. Kiowe's on the turtle in the bottom lane. There's a trade in objectives at least for Team Falcons Mana, but still, it's so much better for VSG.
It's extremely better. Getting a mid lane tower at 6 minutes in is huge. I would trade an off lane tier 3 for that mid lane tier 3 any day, because what's this going to do is open the door even more for VSG to be as aggressive as they want, because now they're not just rotating through the bottleneck of the mid lane, they're rotating through your jungle if they want to. They're able to invade and escape easily. Gailey maybe in a little bit of trouble here though.
Lycan Pounce as well. Gailey's still able to survive, and just like that, she's brought in enough attention to give Rian space. Up top, enhanced sword by Kiowe. Looking for a dive. Velvet already using a Vengeance now. They're going to go on to turret first now. As Minion gets the shielding earlier. Now into the immobilization. Enhanced sword. Locking her down. Oh my goodness, these combos are ridiculous. VSG are styling on Team Falcons.
You know what we call that? Punching Thamus in the face. Quick left jab. Putting them down. Putting them out of their misery. VSG right now. And here they go again.
Brutal punch,
right back down to the bot side. I mean, it's troublesome. It's looking like a problem. Team Falcons Mana, again, I think the saving grace is going to be Names, just like last game. Names has got to do something here. Needs to hit a power spike. Got to start taking names, man. Got to start, you know, punching the clock a little bit, doing something, because if they don't get it together. And at this point, it might be time for Team Falcons Mana to just stay grouped up. Even if they lose one of these tier 2s in the top or bottom, they need to be a bit more grouped up, because the game that Victory Song Gamers is bringing is we're going to run around, we're going to find picks here and there, we're going to guerrilla warfare you, we're going to run 3-1, 3-2, 4-1, we're going to be all over and always coming at you. So if Team Falcons Mana isn't together as a team, VSG is going to pick them apart.
Oh, Minute up top. Oh no, Kevin unable to find the onward flicker out of the Earth Shatter as well, but still she will be taken out up top by the Zaman Force. Use up Kaylee, fighting the play with a knock-up. Lycan Pounce to dodge away, but whoa! Great enhanced chain to catch the Lycan Pounce right after she used it. That's
Even
a kill.
if the Minoan's Fury doesn't get you, we got something else in the pocket.
Yeah, there's an elephant that comes out of nowhere.
We got another skill in the clip, ready to pop off. VSG just always has a plan right now. Team Falcons Mana. What do they do here, Mirko, right? It's First Lord. You definitely don't contest this, I think, at this point. They're about, it's 5,000 gold lead at this point. We're right back to the same story as game 1. Yui this time, they do have some possibility with some, we saw some nice snipe shots early on, but they need to not take any fights. Even this, maybe give up the purple.
Yeah, I mean, for names, she's still able to secure with the Synchro Vision. That's a big plus. They didn't really want to go for, you know, the full contest, but as long as you can secure it on one of your members, this is actually the best case scenario for them. They give it over to names. Like you said, she's probably the last hope, technically, for Team Falcons Mana here. Now VSG, though, they already have the Lord, right? They're coming down in the bottom lane now. Rian has the Golden Staff. It's a big power spike, too, for this Claude. I wonder if she went for a different path. I wonder if she went for the Corrosion Scythe into the DHS and then the Golden Staff, because 3 items in the 8th minute would be quite ridiculous. I don't think so. I think she's still on the second item,
It's
right?
9 minutes now.
Yeah.
We're breaking on 9 minutes.
That will be insane, though. If she actually does have 3 items in for the Claude at 9 minutes, that's
I don't know.
crazy timers.
This was 0-0-1. I don't think so.
Exactly.
Maybe if there was like a bunch of kills. But wait a second, nice pick off.
Right.
Killway goes down, and that's going to be huge. That's going to be a shutdown right there. 3-1 and 3. Team Falcons Mana now. Kill goes over to Yui, so it's a little something. Should be able to clear this ward safely and just lose the tier 2 here.
Velvet's trying her best to actually try to defend this here in the mid lane. She actually built the Thunderbelt.
3 items in.
She has 3 items in 9
3
minutes with 1 assist. That's why, you know, I looked at the assist and I'm like, there's no way, right? Yeah, there is a way. If you are Rian, there is a way to farm up that fast with only 1 assist through the map. And technically, she has been taking the mid wave too, right? So that explains it. She's been farming up a Storm.
Yeah, farming 2 lanes at once.
Maybe even 3. She goes bot, or even the
2
jungle,
lanes.
right? And now she's getting the purple buff.
She's everywhere. All right, let's take a look at Team Falcons Mana. We did see names working on the 3rd item, almost to 3rd item, had Feather of Heaven, had Starlium Scythe. So getting there, we know the type of damage a Harith can do and how much dancing. I think if there's a hero that they want to be able to scale towards the end, it could definitely be this Harith. You have possibility to dance around Kyowe with those chains in. If you have the mechanical gifts, you need to be able to dance around these fights, get out of range of these Minoan's Fury, and not get cut off like that. Fevin, a bad spot.
Ow. She got knocked up and she still went onward. But then she found 4 members of Victory Song Gamers standing there menacingly, obliterating the HP bar of Fevin. She wasn't even able to pop the Primal Rash. She wasn't even able to react to the 4 members in the bush. That's how much damage they have. Minin, Synchro, Rian on Claude with 3 items in 9 minutes. That's kind of crazy. And then now she's probably going to go for the Malefic Roar. But honestly, if I were in that spot, right, 3 items in the first 9 minutes, I would just go for even more damage. Or Wind Talker. We've seen a lot of those Wind Talkers. Considering you're that far ahead, this is the problem, though, technically for them, right? If they're just so squishy, Minin can take a whole lot of punishment. They all can take a lot of punishment from the poke from Yui.
I mean, Yui's been definitely packing a punch, but at this point, it's even there. The heal comes back from Gailey immediately. They got to find their target. Fivin needs to be the one to be able to find these targets, but as we just saw, Fivin can't even face check bushes right now. There you go, though. Possible play.
Earth Shatter catching Synchro, still able to pop in the Primal Rod as Minin Fury's knocking them up now in the backline. Minin still doing some damage, placing to it from Rian, able to demolish them all. The damage is enough, and Kyowe cleans them up. She shot the Astral Sphere. Now she's back to normal form. She can't fly anymore. Rian and Kyoe looking for the end. They have a mini wave here. Get shot down with the Astral Sphere, but it's not enough to really take the mini wave down. Rian on a Kyoe as well. They can go for the straight dive right now as Yui pops in. The Astral Recall shoots it down, gets the wave out. Oh, Kyoe taking down the last shot from the turret.
All right, maybe a little too scrappy. Maybe a little too scrappy, but VSG still, it's a huge win there. And that's what 3, maybe even 4 items at this point does. And especially when you have this much of a gold lead in the tanks. Let's take a look at the items. Rion does get the Wind Talker in. Taking a look at the side of Team Falcons Mana. Just, I mean, practically no defense there. We've got the Dominance Ice. We've got the Dreadnought armor. A little something, but still it is a problem. Electa now, though, going to start working. I'm surprised they're going to be the ones to start this. Don't know if it's the right plan.
Velvet all alone. Didn't even pop the Vengeance Scaling, getting a 2-man knockup. Feven, Primal Wrath, able to space out just in time onto Synchro. Also has a Primal Wrath, deals some more damage, even more than Feven. And now she pops to Onward. Oh no, it gets canceled out. Rian, blazing duets. Now chasing Electa, now Synchro with the flicker forward, and Rian picks her up 3-4-0. Play the victory song of the gamers now, because it's an Enhanced Lord and 3 kills over to VSG.
They take no prisoners. If you're in their way, you're going down. VSG right now, I mean, they just feel unstoppable. Team Falcons Mana, everything they try, maybe rushing Lord at the wrong time there, but Falcons Mana are kind of playing this like the gold is even, right? When they need to kind of be a bit more on the back foot. In the beginning, maybe not be as reactionary, but now it might be time to be a little reactionary. Hope that VSG overextends a little bit. Hope that someone goes a little too deep and Feven can find the pickoff, because I don't think they can force an engage. And now with Lord marching down and the way Rion's been playing 4-0-5, just got the gold meteor in as well, Heart Gold meteor in as well, it's going to be a problem.
Enhanced Lord in the mid lane. 2 big waves in the side. Good pull from Velvet and Electa, trying to stop this from happening, but VSG are already taking down the base turret up top. Now straight into the bottom lane they go. Rion gunning that turret down real quick. Minion trying to go for the assassination. Will take a whole lot of punishment now. Minion's Fury knocking him up. Names gonna be caught in the back. Kaylee gets the solo on Names, and everybody tries to dive. But victory song, gamers, they take names and they sing songs.
It's a 1-2 punch, a quick finish from VSG. You said it in the beginning of these 2 matches, Mirko. They're showing that they are contenders right now. And I'm excited to see how they move forward in these groups.